Golden Girl and the Blackened Girl. Once upon a time, there lived a widow with 2 daughters. The older girl was Stella, kind, polite, and hard-working. The younger girl was Bella, lazy, rude. Although Stella worked hard every day, the widow gave all her love to Bella, for Bella was her real daughter, while Stella was only her stepdaughter. Because of this, Stella had to do every chore in the house, sweeping the house, fetching water, cooking, and spinning thread from morning until night. Beside the old stone well in their yard sat a bright green parrot. It often perched on the rim, watching Stella as she worked. Whenever she came to spin her thread near the well, she talked softly to the bird, just so she wouldn't feel so lonely. The parrot only blinked its round eyes, quiet and calm, as if listening. Meanwhile, Bella spent her days eating and sleeping, doing nothing else at all. One afternoon, Stella sat beside the old stone well, spinning thread after a long day of chores. Her hands were tired, and the thread kept slipping through her fingers. The green parrot perched on the rim of the well, watching her quietly as always. As Stella pulled the thread, the spindle suddenly pricked her finger. She felt a small sting and raised a hand to look at the tiny spot of blood. She placed her spindle on the rim of the well and bent down to get some water to wash her hand. But as she moved, the spindle rolled a little, then slipped over the edge and fell into the well with a soft splash. Stella gasped and looked down into the dark water, but the spindle was gone. She hurried home and said,
"Mother, my spindle fell into the well!"
The widow frowned and said,
"Then jump in and get it! Don't come back without it!"
Stella walked back to the well. She tried everything she could to reach the spindle. She leaned over the edge, stretched out her arm, and even looked for a long stick, but nothing worked. The spindle was far too deep. With no other choice, Stella took a deep breath, closed her eyes, and let herself fall into the well. Stella fell for a long, long moment, but instead of hitting cold water, she landed gently on soft green grass. She opened her eyes in surprise. She was no longer in the well. She stood in a bright meadow under a warm, golden sky. The air smelled sweet, like flowers after rain. A little farther ahead, she saw a bread oven made of smooth stones. Inside, loaves of bread were baking, and she heard small voices calling,
"Please take us out! We're done!"
Stella heard them and stepped forward quickly. She carefully took the bread out one by one, placing them on a wooden paddle. She walked on and soon came to a small apple tree full of red apples. The branches shook lightly, and she heard another voice.
"Please shake us. We are ripe."
Stella nodded and gently shook the tree until all the apples fell. She gathered them into a basket and set it neatly by the trunk. Then she followed a little path to a small cottage with a clean white roof. It looked warm and tidy. Stella felt a little nervous, but she knocked on the door. The door opened, and an old woman with white hair and bright eyes stood there. She looked kind and wise. The old woman smiled and said,
"Welcome, dear child. You look tired. Come in and rest for a moment. Don't be afraid of me, my child. If you look after my house well, you may stay here. I will give you everything you need. All I ask is that each day, when you make my bed, you shake the feathers so they fall like snow upon the ground."
Then the old woman added,
You may call me Mother Everwhite.
Stella listened to her gentle, calm voice. The old woman seemed truly kind, so Stella nodded and said quietly,
Thank you, Mother Everwhite. I will stay.
From that day on, Stella lived in Mother Everwhite's cottage. Each morning, she woke early and began her work. She swept the floors, washed the dishes, cooked simple meals, and kept everything neat. And every day, she made Mother Everwhite's bed. She lifted the blankets and shook the feathers until they floated through the air like soft, white snow. Mother Everwhite watched her with warm eyes. She cared for Stella, spoke kindly to her,
You've worked hard
and welcomed
today,
her
child.
like family. Stella loved her too. Being with Mother Everwhite felt calm and warm, something she almost never felt at home. Time passed quietly, and after a while, Stella began to think about her old life again. She remembered the yard, the well, and the green parrot. She wondered what had happened since she left. One evening, Stella looked at Mother Everwhite and said softly,
I am thankful for everything, but I think I need to go home.
Mother Everwhite paused, then nodded slowly.
If that is what you wish, child, I will not stop you.
You have worked well and been good to this house. I would like to send you home with a gift. She took Stella's hand and led her outside. They walked a short distance until Stella saw a shining golden gate standing at the end of the path. Mother Everwhite opened it for her. Mother Everwhite returned Stella's spindle, placing it gently in her hands before she left. As Stella stepped through the golden gate, a warm light wrapped around her like a soft blanket. Then golden flakes began to fall, slow, bright, and light as feathers. They drifted over her hair, her shoulders, and her clothes. The gold spread quickly. Her old dress turned into a shining golden gown. Golden earrings appeared at her ears, a small necklace lay gently on her neck, and even her simple wooden clogs changed into smooth golden ones. Stella looked down, amazed. She sparkled from head to toe like she had stepped out of sunlight. She turned around to thank Mother Everwhite, but the golden gate had already closed, and the meadow behind it was gone. She was standing beside the old stone well at home. The green parrot flapped its wings and cried out, "She is as beautiful as pure gold." Stella smiled softly and walked toward the house.
What happened?
Her mother opened the door and froze.
Why are you covered in gold?
Stella, what happened? Where did you go?
Why are you covered in gold?
Stella replied.
I can explain.
She told them everything. The bread, the apple tree, Mother Everwhite, and the golden gate. Her mother listened, eyes growing wider and wider, shining with excitement and greed.
Gold everywhere. A dress, jewelry, even your shoes. This is wonderful. Imagine what more we could have. Bella, you must go too.
Bella blinked lazily, not understanding much, but her mother shook her shoulders sharply.
Don't just stand there. If your sister came back covered in gold, you must go and get more than that.
Bella groaned but didn't argue. Bella reached the old stone well with a sour face. She didn't want to be there at all. She sat down and began spinning a little, just enough to pretend she was working. But she spun too fast and pricked her finger almost at once. Ow! This is stupid, she complained loudly.
Stupid!
A tiny spot of blood appeared, and Bella rolled her eyes. She washed her finger in the bucket of water then leaned over the well. Her mother had told her to drop the spindle in on purpose, so she simply tossed it in, not even pretending it was an accident. Then, without thinking twice, she climbed onto the rim and jumped in. When Bella woke up again, she landed on soft grass. She stood in a bright field with clear skies. Soon she saw the little oven up ahead. Inside, the round loaves of bread called out,
Please take us out! We're done!
Bella made a face.
Are you crazy? Why should I take them? What if the fire burns my hands?
She snapped, walking past. Next, she reached the apple tree. Its branches hung low with ripe red apples.
Please shake us. We are ripe.
Bella didn't even slow down.
Are you crazy? Why should I shake them? What if an apple falls on my head?
Finally, Bella arrived at the small cottage. Mother Everwhite stood outside, just as Stella had described her. Bella wasn't afraid at all. She walked up to the old woman and tried to sound polite.
Do you need someone to help around the house? I can do chores and things like that.
Mother Everwhite studied her for a moment, then nodded gently.
If you look after my house well, you may stay here. I will give you everything you need. All I ask is that each day, when you make my bed, you shake the feathers so they fall like snow upon the ground.
Bella agreed at once.
Yes, I can do that.
She said quickly, thinking of the gold Stella had brought home. Mother Everwhite stepped aside to let her in. Bella walked through the door without hesitation. On the first day, Bella tried her best to behave. She swept the floors, cooked a little, fetched water, and even made Mother Everwhite's bed. She shook the feathers the way she had been told, letting them drift down softly. It wasn't perfect, but she did it. On the second day, Bella's face turned sour. The endless chores annoyed her. She swept only half the room, cooked carelessly, and barely touched the water bucket. When she made the bed, she shook the feathers just once and let them fall in clumps. She muttered to herself the whole time, complaining about everything. By the third day, Bella couldn't stand it anymore. She refused to work at all. Instead, she lay on the bed and slept until noon. The house grew messy, the dishes piled up. She didn't even shake the feathers. Mother Everwhite watched quietly, sadness and disappointment in her eyes. At last, she said softly to Bella,
I think you should go back home now.
Bella smiled and thought to herself, Good, I'll get my gold now, just like Stella. Mother Everwhite picked up Bella's spindle and returned it to her. Then she led Bella to the same shining golden gate. Bella stepped forward eagerly, but the moment she passed through, a dark cloud burst above her. Thick black soot fell all over her, heavy, cold and sticky. It covered her hair, her dress, her skin, even her shoes. No matter how she wiped at it, the blackness didn't come off. Bella gasped in shock as the gate disappeared behind her. She was back at the old stone well, completely black from head to toe. Bella stood beside the old stone well, covered in black soot from head to toe. Her clothes were dark, her hair was sticky, and even her face was unrecognizable. The green parrot flapped its wings and cried out, "She is as black as chimney soot." When her mother opened the door, she froze in place.
Bella?
Her eyes went wide.
Is that you?
Bella, is that you? She asked, stepping back. Bella nodded, wiping at her face, though nothing came off.
Where is your gold?
Her mother stared at her in disbelief.
What happened? Where is your gold?
Bella's voice shook with frustration.
I didn't get any. She just sent me home like this.
Mother groaned loudly and pressed her hands to her head. She looked from Bella's blackened face to Stella's gentle golden glow, and her mouth tightened with regret and disappointment. From that day on, things in the house changed. Stella continued to work kindly and quietly, just as she always had. The gold on her dress and jewelry stayed bright, shining softly whenever she moved. Bella, however, had to live with the soot that covered her. No matter how many times she washed, the blackness stayed. Their mother felt regret at last and began treating both of them fairly. She began treating Stella with more care. Slowly, Bella also changed. The soot on her skin didn't disappear, but she became quieter, less angry, and more willing to help Stella with chores. And so, the small house by the old stone well became peaceful again. The gold and the soot stayed as reminders that kindness brings reward and laziness brings its own trouble.